Hello everyone, this is Jamie Hong from KNH Taiwan. KNH is a company for technical education, manufacturer and also consultants. So it is my greatest pleasure to guide you the topic of big data. And today's subject, I would like to review some subjects in the following. First of all, I would like to talk about Python also because Python is actually a very important language, especially for AI and also for the modern industrial controls. And also we will also talk about fundamental systems for the big data. And we are using Hadoop configurations. And also we talk about SQL and also the big data modeling and also AI related experience. So actually in the curriculums, there is no subject focused on the big data. However, big data as a discipline, normally because of the school, they don't, in modern education, the schools do not have much involved in the big data training. So in outside the campus, there are lots of boot camp, and these boot camps are offering industrial-based skill training. So that is the reason big data has been involved a lot. Even on the YouTube, there's a lot of industrial specialists talking about how to use big data for certain type of job. So in our situation, we think about how can we link the big data skills and also what is the necessary application and experiment that the school should have before the student graduate. Then that is the main motivation that we need to design to help the education systems. So we implies there's a lots of examples where users is able to apply in the theory and also in the AI modeling. So actually, we define our big data system as a competency-based training. It is to foster the competency of the instructors, and then we train the instructors to help them to catch up with the mainstream skills of big data analysis required by the industry. So normally, we have to keep on working and with the industry. So normally, these big data examples are non-stop improving. So we are actually working as a cloud base. So we are regularly update these examples according to the industrial trend application. So usually the target, my suggestion is we like to shorten the gap, okay, between the education and the industry. This has been the main target that we are working on. So we like to also offering a competitive edge to the student space and to promising that the training in our big data system has been parallel to the industrial demand. Then the IC, there are some other courses that we can also offer with the big data systems, including ICT, computer science, and also even the engineering subjects. Also for the biomedical, also for the civil engineering, whatever you need analysis, you need to see the modeling for using AI computer based, then we are offering this training for the students also. So let's begin today's subject. We will talk about a little bit on the system and also on the software and also on the examples. So where there's a curriculum for big data, we hope we will be there. Okay, so my next presentation will be talk about the hardware of our BD 101. Today, I'd like to start to introduce our BD 101 Big Data Experiment Lab. The reason we call it Experiment Lab is because usually big data is a theory. A lot of we call algorithm. Algorithm is a combination of different theories and mathematical formula. So we are trying to teach the structures of the data, and how can we use the clear vision to isolate different range, and student can enhance different skills in different topic. So actually every data, like we said, every data has a story to tell, and we analyze the script. That is our main spirit for the big data. So in this page, it is not difficult to understanding. We simply isolate 3 subjects in the big data training. First of all, we talk about big data. Big data is actually refers to the data that is so large, so fast, or complex. It's difficult for, or even impossible to process by using traditional methods. So that is the reason why we need some technologies, we need some skills to process this kind of data. So in order to process the data, there are 2 subjects we have to focus. First of all, in the left side is data science. Data science talk about how can we find the relationship between each data. So we have to do the data cleaning, to clean the data and to prepare the data for analyze. After cleaning the data, the right side, we talk about data analysis. Data analysis is the one that we have to automate the insight to get the relationship and then into a certain data set. Also to support the use of the queries. So we have to teach students how to use the queries and what program the user can use for data aggregation and also the procedures. So these are the 5 V's, characteristics of big data. It's not just a single term, but also a combination of many aspects to reveal a whole pictures. Veracity, volume, value, variety, and also velocity. So actually big data combines different type of aspect of the scientific structures. It means in the life science, we have to be more careful when you get the data before you want to analyze. So we have to teach the student how can we clean the data to get the specific relationship, and from this base we teach the modeling, how to construct the model, how to be the AI. That is the reason that's why we need the system to training. So according to our research, and also this is research by the KPMG in 2018 until now 2021, the biggest job market is actually big data analysis. So data science is also become one of the top hot job requirement in the market. So also speaking of the language, usually we as an engineer we use C. However, for the big data, in order to meet the more industrial demand, we are applying the Python language. This is the most fast growing programming language. So it is also easy to teach and also very easy to apply to different type of engineering subjects. So let's take a look at the hardware. In the big data, what do we have? Why we call it a big data training system? So let's talk about the hardware first. In our big data system, we have 4 subjects. First of all, we need a cluster. And then you can imagine what is the system we are using. Actually, the operational system, basically, we have our Windows, Linux, and also Apple Macs. But to process the big data, usually we use another one. It's based on Linux structure. We use Hadoop. Hadoop is an open platform, so which means users are free to access the resource as long as it has been authorized. And it's very good for education to process because it is not license required, and it has been upgraded without any cost. So the reason why we are using the Hadoop is because it's very popular in the market, even in the industry. And another hardware we are working is we have a system monitor. This will be easy for students and teachers, because teachers sometimes they can create an error. So that is because of that training purpose. We do fast troubleshooting and also the random data generator. Sometimes you have to generate the data randomly for analyze. So in our system, we just push one button and then you can access this data generation. Then another thing, we have a rack cabinet to where storage the big data system, because it's a combination of different several servers. So we need a rack cabinet, and then this is a data server. Okay. And we provide 20 more case studies, and it has been increasing. So in the BD cluster, it's also ecosystem hardware architectures. It's also one click to restore the system by the server. So we are protecting our system, and also we want the teacher to feel free to run the system, because the system has been well protected. So even though the student create an error to the system, we can easily restore the system without any problems. So it also it can be work alone, or you can work with different servers. More servers together, you can create a better calculation. We can better performance also. Like this, based on Hadoop system, is you can extend the numbers of clusters. Depends on your budget and depends on the performance you want to achieve. So it is also very important that we want this system to be exist in the laboratories. So meaning you can treat this system as a big data in your lab. So this is a very good. We have integrated Wi-Fi support, 40 more students together at the same time work doing the experiment and also upload their projects. Meaning during the pandemic, you cannot work in the laboratory. However, you can submit your proposals or your projects and working on the calculations. You can do in the data analysis also through the remote site. And also the power in the environment is very friendly, and also it's mobilized, so which means it's easy to storage or easy to change the location of your big data. And also the very important is that the system monitor is we not only fast troubleshooting, but also this is a system that you can monitoring your system performance, including the CPU, network, and hardware real time. Okay. Okay, this one we talk about comprehensive courses to strengthen territory education. This means in training we provide, actually big data is we demand, okay, we hope the end user can be case based, means you come to the laboratory, not only the theory based, but you can also apply the real case into the big data training. So this, we provide 20 more cases study for students to practice, and then including 9 classic algorithm learning. So not only that, the teachers can also add their own algorithm or theory inside the case studies. So this is very easy to training the student for data analysis courses. So that is also one of our main strategy, that this system can be more user-friendly and more flexible, especially for the training. And also, you might have a question: why not work on a real-life project with the big data? Actually, this big data is very good for applying not only the data. However, you need to think about where are you going to get your data. For example, from IoT, from Internet of Things, or from different type of sensors. So that is why we also train the student to how to become a smart related engineer, like smart agriculture, smart care, or even smart business intelligence. So there are several practices that we also engage included in the system. So let's take a look at what is the potential career that after training a student for the big data. They can be the big data engineer or architects or big data analysis. So there are lots of job requirement in the market that the big data has been focused. So we bring you all you need. That's why we are very confident in offering such systems for the training. We hope that we can also keep on discussion, and then hopefully this can help a lot of projects in the near future, especially in the technical education, and especially when you look into the study online. They are focused not only for engineering but also for programming, for data, for management. Okay, so KNH, we are made in Taiwan, of course, and we guarantee our services will be non-stop. And please, we are very happy to work with our customer and also with our support with our agent, High-Tech Power. They are very strong in the service and also in the technical support. Before we end this presentation, I'd like to show you one physical a real case that the big data can perform. Usually, big data, if you like to see the result, is a process of programming. So we will show you this process, and then let me guide you the next PowerPoint. This is an example for the smart agriculture. For example, this is the we call iris. In the iris, imagine in the mass production market, the farmer usually they grow iris is a million pieces of iris in the farm, but there are different type of iris. The price is also different, so the farmer has to find a solution to identify. So what are the type of iris? So usually we categorize. There are 3 type of iris. So we have to think what kind of algorithm can help you to get the insights of the data, meaning to process, to filter, like a filter. You need to think about the algorithm. It's a mathematical formula. So we teach students what type of algorithm we use, and then how to process the data. So this one we use naive-Bayes classifier. It's one of the popular algorithm that using for filtering the data set. So I'll show you this example. The next page is in iris data set. We have to ask ourselves, what is iris? What is a specific characteristic of iris? So this can help you to isolate, to get a clear idea what type of data you want. So in this kind of classifier, we have 3 type of iris: setosa, versicolor, and also virginica. These 3 type of different iris by telling the characteristic. For example, the sepal length, sepal width, petal length, and also the petal width. This type of difference make the difference type of iris. So first of all, before you clean or before you want to classify your data, you need to ask yourself, what do you want to analyze, and by what method, by what characteristic you want to make the difference. So let's take a look in the picture. This is a sepal and the petal. So the experiment process, we have to read the data set, and then we have to draw a scatter plot of sepal length and the sepal width. So we have to use the 2 type of algorithm. First of all, is NumPy. The function of NumPy is to plot the decision boundaries. Next, we use naive-Bayes. Naive-Bayes is to plot the decision boundary also, so we can be more optimistic by comparing different type of algorithm and to check the percentage of the accuracy. So that is the reason why you can see we have a setosa with a blue dot. The orange dot is a versicolor, and the green dot is a virginica. You can see the difference has been a little bit from the data. You can see the type of the output. Then this we call a language program that we are using the Python to run the system. So you can see we can return the data, and you can see the different type of comparisons. and then we have a very clear boundary has been created, and you can see the percentage has been quite high. So it means this data is competent, and it's also a good result for the data analysis. See, these are two types of difference, are very similar, so means the data is more optimized. And we can compare the accuracy of both implementations. You can see the result. The NumPy accuracy is 0.78, and the Sklearn accuracy is also 0.78. So that's a perfect result for the data analysis. So the flow chart for the data analysis, we have to think about the input and the output. Between input and output, we think the classifier and the iris type. Then we can finish the experiment easily. So hope you enjoy today's presentation, and any question, please feel free to contact KNH and also our local partner and also our office in Philippines, High Tech Power. Thank you so much.